and then a girl arrested me. Here, I'll come to you. I'll come to you. I'll just be at the end of the door. I'll be released in
Wait,
3
there's
seconds.
something called freaking
I'll meet you
riddle.
at the bottom of the stairs. I always like running because it looks like it's that you're overslept. Okay, I'm at the bottom of
I'm
the
gonna
stairs.
play Royal High by myself.
I look adorable.
I'm
I'm in a sweater.
That one
And
is
have
called
those.
Roblox. Yeah.
The music's very pretty.
Please.
Maybe I'll go
Okay, I'm
get some
coming.
matcha
I should
before I
be.
leave for school.
Hey, boy, give me that. Give me my donut back. Somebody take my donut. Don't take my donut.
Let's go.
Oh, I like my donut. I pressed F. Okay.
Run.
Hi there.
I want
That's not
to play
me.
my
This is
anime
me.
game.
Yeah, okay. I'm
gonna go
shopping.
Roblox. Oh my
No,
God.
I have to face you back.
Roblox is terrible in my opinion. That's why
Hey,
I
Willie,
hate it.
give me the word now. I'm calling you and I'll tell you. Okay.
Girl.
Okay, I'm taking my gun.
Oh, you said you were open, but you said you're coming soon.
I'm
I
fabulous.
want to glitch in. I glitched in. Yes. Can I glitch in?
Minecraft. Let's all play Fortnite instead.
Okay, yeah, the gun as well. Minecraft is dead.
Help me.
No, there's still like.
Help me.
Okay.
I'm stuck in a door.
Now it's popular as we go.
Oh, I'm stuck in a door.
You mean like this?
Help me.
No, I'm in.
I'm just
No,
like,
I'm
help
right
me.
now.
Hello, Dr.
Okay.
Smile.
I'm the target faster than me. Sprint.
Going crazy.
No, I didn't mean.
Okay, press shift. I mean hold shift. Oh, shift. I thought it was caps lock.
Open your
I thought it was caps
door.
lock. Because that's what I'm at the game where you lifted and you escape. Okay, I'm in.
Yay.
So I'll meet you at. I'll meet you.
Yes, I want whipped cream. Of course I want whipped cream.
Alright. I just met a criminal.
Oh,
I just met a criminal.
School. Yes, I want marshmallows.
Hey!
Let me get out of here.
Oh my goodness, he's the. He
Yeah,
has $6
never
million on this.
Yeah.
He's the richest girl in the state.
We don't need to be this loud, especially if we're only commenting on what we're
Hey,
playing.
don't kill me, don't kill me.
I'm gonna
No.
dress up myself to look like the beautiful.
Let me get
I
this
was
done.
weird by the gay groupie.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to reset. I'm sorry.
Wait,
Okay, I missed Dino. Bye bye.
I've been arrested.
I glitched into the store
I'm
and
gonna
I
be the
died.
most beautiful girl in this game.
No, you're not.
Wait, where's that one place?
I have to drive away because or I'll get arrested. So I'll come back for you. Jailbreak. I will.
Oh, what is that?
Whatever you said. Did you say jailbreak or jailbreak?
Thank you. I'm getting off Royal High to play music.
I am. I'm ready to drive. I also know how to drift.
Guess is actually really good. And you? Somebody's freaking role playing.
RPG.
What kind of face?
Wait,
Oh my
that's an
god.
RPG in the head.
I think we failed. Almost.
Dude, why'd you hit me?
Why is this?
I should.
You have to press like, or like pull down like the mouse.
Oh, I think I did this version. Use this face. Create my gloomy. Oh, great. Let's have some anime shit here.
Hey, I need help. I was arrested because I apparently killed someone that was innocent.
Wow.
My name, and yet my username is Cute Girl.
So I need help. Or I need help. Somebody.
I'm arrested you. I thought this is going to bring it in. But no, he was shooting at me.
Oh wait, what's your name?
I'm here.
Who did that? Why hello
I'm
there?
released in I'm breaking out.
Did you get released from prison?
Yeah.
No, that's only released from myself.
Do you think this next story?
I need to escape, so.
I'm gonna add an elder in.
Oh my goodness, the most, oh my goodness, he's VIP as well. That's a Lambo.
Oh,
It's
great.
so cool in here.
Yes,
I have no plans.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't need that.
Thanks. I didn't say that.
Okay, here we go, excuse me.
No music, I told you.
I'm a big casual
No music.
I'm a jerk. Stay away from me. My name is Haki Spencer.
Save. I named mine
Very clever.
design.
Ooh, I could take this. Yeah, stick with me. Let's go. Extra cover. How do you get to the criminal base? Insane, man.
Oh, wait. 5 Nights at Freddy's. Wow.
Don't arrest me. I don't have a
5
gun.
Nights at the freaking Krusty Krab.
What's the question?
Oh, Coco Nerd.
There's no anybody here. I'm low.
Start playing Roblox.
So hard to do it.
They're like my martial art friend now.
You wanna?
And there was one star.
Hey.
Nobody's out here.
Oh wait. Oh, you know like the movie Fox Scarlet, the annoying dog. Oh my god. I forgot about it. And look at my block and I'm an old lady.
What? You want me to be the police officer this time? Yeah. Because I just got arrested. I am at the bottom of the list with $175.
We'll let you arrest
I
them
love,
with the chair.
I love
Okay,
Bonnie.
if you get caught, remember you have a friend in prison.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Please.
Do you know how much you'll get if you catch me? 200 nothing.
I'm gonna go to
You'll get nothing.
school.
I have no bounty on my head.
It took me way too long to arrest that.
No, remember,
I'm
it's
gonna
250
Train.
for arrest city. No, it's 250 per arrest. Really? Because I don't have a bounty. I don't have a bounty.
Why?
Yeah, still.
Why?
Okay. Wait, can
I forgot
please
about
swim times 6 for money?
Wait.
Times is criminal days.
So, is it okay if I already did
Where's
in fourth grade? Because I didn't even do it.
Like, if you, we'll explain what we're going to be doing, and if like the planet you chose like fits, you can use that as the planet you. Otherwise, we have like pre-set up planets for you to choose from. Oh yeah, your flash drive, right? Yeah. We.
Oh yeah.
It takes forever to finish my life.
Oh.
Probably. And maybe.
Where am I?
Justin, this is Dale. Justin.
Park driver.
Do you have the flash drive that was left here from last week?
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to. Can I arrest you this time for money? Me? Yeah. I'm evading the law, boy. I'm evading the
That would
law.
be great. Thanks.
Wait, let's play cops and robbers where actually I'm a cop and you're
Oh,
and you're just a
Rachel, we have your flash drive, and it'll be coming here shortly. Mr. Justin is dropping it off.
Is that the criminal base? I think I see the criminal base.
Where is it?
It's a volcano now.
I'm now a mommy.
Bro, you just been standing there for like trying to swipe my card. Yeah, I know.
I think I see the criminal
Put
base.
on my gun.
Is that the criminal base? I can tell.
All right, I think we are going to get started here. Yeah.
Nope.
Ooh. I found what I was.
Where do you think you
Awesome.
are?
So, if I can have everybody pause the games they're
No.
playing, pause what they're doing,
No.
flip around the computers.
I might want it.
Today I think is going to be a pretty fun day. So is next week. We're going to be doing planets this week and next week. Alright, so we only have like
That
2.
thing's not recording.
I know, we can't, like this says everything's set up to, but for some reason we can't get it to record, so I don't know. It's okay. Oh, right, we have your flash drive all safe and sound for you. We even wrapped it up so it wouldn't get. Yes. Alright, so last 2 times of coding club, at least before, Christmas break, the holiday break here. And I think it's going to be a pretty fun 2 weeks. We're going to talk about space. We're going to talk about planets, especially planets that aren't in our solar system, called exoplanets. And you're going to get a chance to make your own planet that we will get to display up on our sphere, in our sphere room. You will also get a chance to write up a bio for your planet. Like if it has like aliens or anything, you get to present it to the class, present it to your parents, whoever's coming to pick you up. It'll be pretty. Oh, you already have one? Awesome, awesome. So, first of all, we're going to talk about what exoplanets are. So I have a really cool app, and there's also a really cool app that NASA has that we will talk about as well. That's all about exoplanets. Wait for our projector to warm up. Alright, I need all computers flipped around. Flipped around. Alright. So, actually we might be able to get the lights, we might be able to see it a little bit better up here. So, this is a 3D representation of the galaxy that we live in right now. It's pretty cool because like you can see it from like all angles and stuff. Each one of these little dots, especially if you look at it sideways, represents a star,
That's a lot of stars.
right? We're guessing that there's over 100 billion stars roughly per galaxy on average, depending on like how big or small. Like giant number we can't even wrap our minds around. Yeah.
The first thing is that that's only for the spiral galaxies, not the
Yes.
And,
Let's just say on average.
And then the second thing is that do you know that there are as many microplastics in the ocean as there are stars in the Milky Way?
Yeah, that's a really sad number that I had heard. Super depressing. But on average, per a galaxy roughly the size of our galaxy, shaped like our galaxy, we estimate there's about 100 billion stars. We estimate that there's over 200 billion galaxies in existence. Well, at least in the observable universe. We can only see so much of the universe. But the cool thing about this app is if you look really closely, especially if I zoom in, you see these red dots. Some of these dots are green. These are the locations of stars that have planets around them that we have found so far. And if you look, we are really only looking at certain parts of our galaxy. We're not even exploring like most of our galaxy, just like in certain areas. Do you have something you want to say?
The dark star.
The dark star. So this app is pretty cool because like if I click on something like the sun right in the middle, it'll zoom in all the way to whatever planet I clicked on, being Earth.
Wait, what is this app called?
Now I know that the Earth
It has the word exoplanet. I'm not entirely sure what it's called. These blue rings around it are showing you the distance away. So like as you zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Zoom out.
It's
Huh?
forever though.
Oh no, this is just an Apple app. There's the sun. And it's really cool if you keep zooming out, those are the constellations, and if you zoom out more and more and more, eventually those constellations start to like distort themselves. Like some of the stars are closer than other stars.
That's
Wait,
really
can you
cool.
keep going out and out?
Now these red lines are connecting like our sun to the other planet or the other stars that have planets around them. So if I click on like one of these other ones, like over here, we can zoom in on like that particular one. And we can see like its planetary system. So like this one has a couple planets. One planet super close to its star, kind of does like a little elliptical orbit thing. One is a lot further out.
It moves a lot. It moves too fast. It would.
Right, so weird stuff would probably happen on that planet.
Oh, I know that.
We have almost discovered about 4,000 exoplanets, and we haven't even been looking that long. So yeah, some of these, the planets might support life on it. This one. Some of them have more than one star that they orbit. Yeah.
Did you know that the closest exoplanet that they have found that actually can support life is in the Alpha?
Yeah, around Proxima Centauri. Yeah, it's about 4 light years away. It is pretty far. That's like if you shine, like all of these, like the closest one is 4 light years away. So that means if you took a laser pointer, pointed it, and push the button, it would take that laser 4 years to get to that planet. Like moving at the speed of light. So ridiculous.
Although I don't think the
Wait,
laser
what
would be
if
powerful
it?
enough to
What
get
if
over
a
there.
car was moving at the speed of light for 4 years?
There's information. This app has information about each one of the planets. Now the thing about these planets, because the closest one is 4 light years away, that makes them too far away for us to see actual pictures of them. Like Pluto just looked like a gray blob before we sent a spaceship out there. And so like we can get information about like how big the planet probably is, how hot it probably is because of how close it is to a star, things like that. So using information like that is how scientists and artists come up with how the planet probably looks. Which is what we are going to get to do in this class for the next 2 weeks, is use information that scientists have found about these particular planets, and you get to be the scientists, artists who get to design how that planet might look. So here's like information it has about this star. So each time a planet goes in between a star and us, it makes the star look like it dimmed a little bit and got brighter. And so based upon how big that dim is, we can tell how big the planet is. Based on how many dims happen, we can tell how many planets there are, how fast it happens, how far away they are, things like that. And if you look at that map down there with that green ring, there are things called habitable zones around a star, which is where you are far enough away that you're not going to burn to death, and you're close enough you're not going to freeze to death, and liquid water could exist in those habitable zones. Could. Doesn't mean it will. Technically in our solar system, Venus, Earth, and Mars are all 3 in the sun's habitable zone, but Earth is the only one with water. Well, we're pretty sure Mars has water, but not liquid water.
And they think that Venus did have water, it's just maybe actually.
True. So just because it is in the habitable zone doesn't guarantee it will have liquid water.
Sometimes it's
Just means
called
it
the
can't.
Goldilocks zone.
Exactly, where it's not too hot, not too cold. That's where that comes from. Yeah.
If you melt the polar ice caps on Mars, then there'll be water.
Yeah, and we think we actually found an underground lake on Mars that has liquid water, we're pretty sure. It would be super salty. The saltier the water is, like the less likely it will be to like freeze. Because like if you just dump salt in water, it like lowers the freezing point of the water, so makes it have to be colder.
They think about Utopia, there's like some like fish swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, I mean there could be life.
There's thinking because the ice is about
Here's
thinking of sending a drill like straight at it, like big speed, so that it was like.
yeah. This is that planet you were talking about, Proxima Centauri b, which is around the star Proxima Centauri. But if we zoom out a little bit, Proxima Centauri, the star, actually orbits Alpha Centauri b. Actually orbits two stars here. If we zoom in, there are two stars orbiting each other, Alpha Centauri Alpha and Alpha Centauri Beta. It's a trinary star system. Yeah, so there's some weird stuff out there. And see that star is wiggling around a little bit? It's because it's being affected by the gravity of the other star.
It's dancing.
So, here's what we are going to do. On this table, I have made a list of interesting exoplanets, like not just like Jupiter gas giants, because those are boring. So, like interesting exoplanets, and it has on there information like how big the planet is, how far away it is, so how hot or cold, and an interesting fact about the planet. Yeah.
Wait, so can you switch up different things?
You can if you want to, but at first I would like everyone to choose one of these just in case like you're not able to find anything when you search over there. So I would like everybody to go over to this table. We are going to look at, and everyone, you can just,
And make sure you write your name on whichever one you pick.
yes. We want everyone to have a different exoplanet that you're going to be working on. Now, when you design your planet, we will give you the option. If you think there should be alien life on this planet, you should put alien life on this planet. If you think the aliens are going to call it something different than like Leasley 674b, you can give it a different name that the aliens would call that planet.
Home.
Home. One of the planets probably has oceans of magma on it.
Oh yeah.
So like think Mustafar. Lots of these planets are named after either the person who discovered them, the telescope or satellite that discovered them, or the star they orbit around. Alright, once everyone has chosen their planet, we are going to take a little field trip up to our sphere room upstairs. So we can show you things to keep in mind, how it's going to work, and how really you should go about designing your planet so it looks nice and pretty on our sphere. Alright, does everyone have a planet?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, if everyone has a planet, we are going to line up at the door. We're going to take a field trip upstairs. So, we'll require you to stand up. Line up at the door.
I can't hold it. Let's stand up.
Oh, really?
Lay down right there.
That's pretty cool.
Really love if you watch stars. Do you?
Oh, we're supposed to take our
Alright, I need everybody again. Line up.
Winding up is boring. You have to.
What's a rule?
And please, everyone, please come line up. Those of you still at your computer.
2.
And music going.
I was on beautiful Roblox. Rolling
Paper.
Oh, no. Sadly.
You can bring the piece of paper up with you if you want to, in case you get like ideas while we're looking at this here and want to like. Huh?
Well, did you guys have any space?
All right. So we're gonna
Did you
walk.
guys have any space exhibits?
Not yet.
Dang it! What happened to the memo? I don't know.
I'm about to head out. Do you need anything from me? I do not. All right. Have a good rest of your day. You too. Thanks. Justin, this is Tim. Justin.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. I can be down at your office in like 2 minutes.
This is a carbon fiber sphere, about 6 feet wide. And kind of to explain again how this is not a hologram. It's not even floating there either. So if I turn on the light, you'll see it is hanging from the ceiling with those 3 cables up there.
I know what the picture on the sphere is.
That's not a hologram either. So like a hologram, your hand would be able to like go right through it. Alright, you guys. The longer it takes us up here, the less time we're going to have to make your planets.
Or play Roblox.
So, if you look around the room, you'll find 4 big black boxes. Each one of them has a projector inside of it. So the picture.
It's been
Are you looking
a
for
black box.
So these projectors are what's projecting this image up here, making it around projector screen.
Can you put like a thing of the Death Star and we'll be...
Maybe if we have time, but if we keep being loud and noisy, I won't have time to show you the Death Star. So gotta focus, gotta stay on task here.
Everybody focus on
So,
the Death Star.
this allows us to take a picture that you have made like on a computer, that you've drawn, and be able to put it on this round sphere, making it look like a planet. So all of these pictures, whether it's of the Earth, something else, another planet, starts as like a flat picture, right? So imagine you're taking a giant flat picture and you have to wrap it around the ball. What happens to the top and bottom of your flat picture when you wrap it around a ball? It crumples, it like squishes together, right? So as you're making your picture of an exoplanet, you probably don't want to have an alien city like on top of your picture on the bottom because it's going to get smooshed into one point, right? Now, if you want to put like a city or like alien races and stuff, put it in the middle, because that's the part of the picture that will not get squished or stretched. as
Okay,
much.
Pumpkin City.
So, some of these are like in the TRAPPIST system. TRAPPIST is a star, and there are 7 planets around that star, which we have information for. And Mr. Justin, he was just in here, he came up to set up the iPad, has made what he thinks these planets could look like. This is TRAPPIST-1c. These planets are what's called tidally locked, which is what some of your planets might be.
Yeah.
If it's tidally locked, that means one half the planet is constantly facing its star, while the other one is constantly facing away from its star.
So like Earth?
No. So Earth is spinning around. If this was the star and I'm the planet, being tidally locked means as I move around my star, this side is constantly facing the star all the time.
So then technically, would it be habitable? I mean, it wouldn't be habitable.
Well, you might be able to put some stuff on the in-between zones where it's in between daytime and nighttime, but like on this planet, this one's tidally locked, so on the nighttime side, we are pretty sure there's lots of ice there because it's constantly cold.
What about the...
This planet, we think, could have water on it, but because it's tidally locked as well, it probably wouldn't be on the super hot side of the planet. It would probably be, like you said, like in between side, where it's not too hard, not too hot, not too cold.
But that would be habitable.
Some of these planets we think might be completely covered in an ocean,
That's not ocean, that's
But,
ice.
but it could be.
which is like,
Well,
yeah, so this would be the daytime side.
Well, it could
Which
be
is
kind of
almost-
like Titan, like it's the windows aren't directly made out of just water and so it looks like water.
It's
Yeah.
basically the real life version of Hoth.
One of the planets we think might be super duper hot.
That's Lucifer.
So this would be like one of the planets that could have like lava oceans, Mustafar.
Technically, this would be a good planet to live in if you're talking about the.
Or if you want yours to be Earth-like, might come up with a planet like this. That has nice clouds on it, nice green land masses, maybe some brown land masses in there. But if again, here is the North Pole of this planet, and you can kind of see how the picture gets squished at the North Pole because you're taking a flat picture and wrapping it around a round object. So the North and South Pole get like pinched
It's not flat.
at the top and the bottom.
I'm not sure.
That is probably the most important thing to keep in mind when you're actually designing your planet.
That's not.
So like if you think of Earth, maybe you want to put ice caps on the top and bottom. Because like white, you can't really tell it's squished a whole lot. That one was a planet that Mr. Justin just made up. We
And
didn't
that's
really have,
Mustafar. That's Mustafar
It's
again.
called Minecraft vlog.
It's called Hot Jupiter. It's called the Nether. It's the Nether.
So all of these exoplanets aren't like this. Like
That's
this is
Jupiter.
actually Jupiter, but this is an actual picture of Jupiter.
And there's an eye.
So all of the exoplanets, you get to design using the information you're given, but like maybe you want to put a constant storm that always happens on your planet.
Constant.
Who knows? Well, yeah, the storm's been there at least 400 years. Huh? The dot? Oh yeah, the eye? Right. Ah.
It can't be 300 billion because that's before the
Does anyone have any questions about how this is going to work?
I think I found a planet that is like this, but except 2 times bigger. 5 times.
And so that's what we found most of the exoplanets are gas giants. But I chose planets for you to choose that specifically weren't gas giants, because I wanted you to be creative and not just make like a bluish green ball of gas. 'Cause that's kind of boring.
Can you make a rainbow?
Can I make a rainbow? Like,
Rainbow planet.
if your planet can have whatever colors you want.
It could be Unicorntopia USA.
Okay, let's go with that.
Yeah, super, like here's like an example of what a rocky planet could look like, but again, the top and the bottom get kind of squished, so don't
It's
put
a
like anything
contrast.
super important on the top and the bottom.
What if you put Darth Maul's house there?
Darth Maul's house.
Yeah.
So like here's a,
I feel like I've seen that from like
What planet is this?
that was one that Mr. Justin made up.
It's
This is Mr. Justin's take on, if you watched the Last Jedi, the planet that Luke Skywalker like was on with all the islands.
Endor.
This is what he thinks that planet could have looked like.
Yeah.
Off 2.
Wait,
Yeah.
is there music playing?
Yeah, he put Star Wars music playing in the background.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Or another easy one could be, here's what Hoth might look like. It's like a big ice ball.
What about Jakku?
Where's Star Wars music on this one?
Where's the Rebel base planet? That is awesome.
The adventure is coming.
But
Wait, guys, guess what? We have Star Wars Battlefront 2 at our house.
Well, the original one.
Yeah, like the
So-
original one.
here is a good example of what happens to your picture.
Wow.
So, this started as a flat picture that's being wrapped around the sphere, like top and bottom, have to get squished, like that.
Oh my god, what happened to
So,
That looks like Star
hey
Wars.
guys, keep in mind that when you design your planets, design them to be made round. Like when this picture was taken, it was not made to be a round picture, so it looks like a fisheye effect when you look at it like this.
Basically, just
Yeah.
even though it's my opinion, some people like this, but I don't really like Star Wars. Because can I teach you to start something else?
I will control your mind.
You will get
Can
lost.
we see the Death Star? I feel like it's
Wait,
Is this hard?
Is that
If we
Dagobah?
don't cancel it, what would happen?
Bounce off.
Is that Dagobah? No, Dagobah has more scary.
No, so this is TRAPPIST-1G. It's one of those 7 planets in the TRAPPIST system, but it's big enough that we think it's a gas giant.
How do you
Yours would be probably.
Can you put the Death Star on, please?
Alright, I will only put the Death Star on if we promise we're not gonna go crazy, right? With our comments and everything. And this will be the last thing I show us before we'll go downstairs and start working on our plans, okay?
It's supposed to be like
Show us can you show us the coldest planet you've ever found?
Oh, and then money. Okay.
Wait, where's the big thingy majig with shoots?
Have you just like gone, like is it just like a search engine or like?
Oh, on here, so, with this, what we'll work on doing either the end of today, if you guys get done soon enough, or most of the time tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week, is we'll have to load it and program it on those computers back there, which is what allows us to put it on here. So what the program back there is doing is it's taking that flat picture and it's using like programming languages to wrap it around the picture. Please
So I
don't do that.
see big fat white line. Wait,
Yes, so that's another thing to keep in mind too. So if we all see on the Death Star this white line, think of it like you have a giant piece of paper that you're wrapping around a basketball. Eventually that piece of paper will have to meet up on the other side and makes a seam there. So on the edges of your picture, try and make it so they will like line up when they meet together. Like if you fold it around.
Can we just like send out a song good enough that would send this in half?
Wait, can we open?
Do what?
So if they took kind of like an energy beam and just like cut the seam down, couldn't they have just done that and we saved them a lot of trouble?
It probably would. But there's lots of stuff with Star Wars that does not make sense.
Yeah.
That's why Star Trek is better.
Hey!
Alright. Does everyone have an idea on how this works?
No.
We understand what's going to happen when you make your picture?
No.
You still haven't shown me the dog star yet.
The dog star?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. No, it's the dog. The
Series in the Kansas.
it's a binary thing.
No. It's from like an actual constellation.
So, the only picture of a star we actually have that we can show on our sphere is the sun. Because anything else, if you just like took a telescope and took a picture of a star, it's just gonna look like a big bright circle.
Yes, mine.
So, like, here is,
Blind me. I want to be blind. Why?
here's a picture of the sun.
Why is it half bit black?
Because that is the side opposite that the Earth is on. So this picture is taken with satellites in front of the Earth's orbit and behind taking pictures. And the sun is so big we can never get a picture of the opposite side of the sun. The Earth
I
is.
think that's something that can be set on the other side and both sides. We could technically take it.
Well, yes, but we want this to be like real time. So you see a timestamp down there that keeps moving? That's what the sun was doing on that date and time. So November 2nd, at that time, this is what the sun's surface was doing.
Can we go yet?
Yes. Alright, so we're gonna need everyone to line up at the door.
It's bad for Pac-Man. Okay. I like the Death Star and the music. It's just black.
Or it looks like the Iron Song.
Oh, it does. We got one person watch. We got 0 people watching.
They're live. It's live.
There's only one person live.
Can I go live since I have my phone?
No.
Only one viewer.
Alright.
Are we live on Twitch?
Alright. Hey guys. If you want to start leading them down.
The ocean shaking behind, the clouds white, and the land very
Screw the Titanic.
If we actually open this door all the way, it stays open. And if you could actually flip that around for me.
There we go.
Awesome.
What if the doors were open, but I kept it like that? It was like,
Huh?
what if I kept it on? Like, the vent is going on. It's like, but the doors were open and nobody's in there.
Well,
like,
then it might confuse people.
yeah.
Hey. Oh, okay. Awesome.
I'm going to get done before you guys come home. Is that okay with you?
Also, there's a
Yes. Okay. So, what I need everyone to do is to turn off the games you are currently playing. Because we need to finish these planets by the end of our time today. So we have time, well, I mean like the actual picture of them. So that we have time to put them on our sphere by next week. So it's very important that everyone works on these pictures, and we're going to explain how this is going to work. So, we have already pulled up a program on your computers that should be minimized called GIMP.
Oh, Kim.
Some-
That's actually really terrible.
Some of you, it's like a free Photoshop.
I accidentally closed my computer.
That's okay. We actually have extra computers. So, if you just want to pull up GIMP, it looks like this. Some of yours might have a toolbar, some might not. You can always pull up a toolbar later if you need to. Alright, so I drew. Yeah.
What's the password?
Maybe, sure. Alright, so I drew on the board how this is going to work. So you're gonna have, y'all eyes up here. You're gonna start with a rectangular picture. The middle is going to be the equator of your planet, and the top line and bottom line are going to turn into the North and South Pole as you wrap it around itself. Now the sphere, the programs on the sphere and the projectors can only use like a certain amount of pixels, otherwise it freaks out. If you do too much or if you do too little, it looks super pixely. So, yeah. You don't have a GIMP?
Wait, what's the width?
Alright, so here's the easiest way to do this. If you go up to the top, select File, go New, and it will ask you how big you want your image to be. You want your image to have a height of 2,000 pixels and a length of 4,000 pixels. It's how big you want your picture to be, so it will wrap around the sphere really well.
What's the width?
So the height is going to be up and down, it's going to be 2,000, and the width is going to be from end to end. So like,
So it's 4,000 by 2,000.
yeah, so 2,000,
Where do you go?
Man, is this correct?
4,000.
So file.
Okay. There it goes. And once it's done, it should come up with like a white square that is the size that you told it to be. Anything that goes in there will be the picture that wraps around your sphere. You got a green one?
I got a black one.
I need to get one at all. There we go.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little while before it pops up.
I got a green one. I got a black one.
I messed something up.
I think you have to actually hit the screen.
I have to.
Mine's gonna have like some giant Coruscant city in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have life, you can put like a city like Coruscant like in the middle or something like that.
Did you say croissant?
Not a croissant.
Not a croissant.
All right, so some of you, the toolbar might have already popped up. If not, you can go and you can get tools from the tools section here.
I don't know what to do.
You can use this either like Paint, where you can draw your own pictures, or you can find like pictures online and import them and copy them to this. It's really up to you.
I'm making.
But the rest of our time is going to be you guys working on designing your planet that we will put.
Can you help me?
Yeah.
How do you delete stuff? Yeah. Oh, you have. I was actually correct. Backspace didn't work. Oh.
Are you trying to delete a squiggle?
Okay. Okay, so can you show me how to do that? It won't let me move. Kim, look at Kim, brother. Kim.
Maybe. I'm not sure if it has.
I felt it once.
And her age is 21. Exactly.
Fitness.
Against the wall.
I spelled planet wrong.
Why are they going? What the freak?
Planets. X. Planet Minecraft. Obviously, Planet Minecraft. Planet Minecraft. Guys, I found my planet.
What?
It's a cube. Look. What the That's my planet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there. An eraser. There's an eraser.
It's cool.
Dale.
Yes.
Dale. What? Can I show you my planet?
Well, no. So like, see how I pulled up pictures like this? These would not be good pictures to put on there because remember, you're gonna be like looking down at the planet, not like to the side of the planet.
Okay, so.
So if you are looking for images like online to help you use, just keep in mind that like these kinds of pictures would not be the best types of pictures to use. But like this one here would be great. Like this would be like a super great picture.
Flat Earth. Minecraft. A Minecraft.
And please
Earth.
don't make a flat earth.
Why? I just need a little help. Wait. Would
Oh my.
there are children present?
Now I'm gonna.
So if you want a good place to start, Google could be a good place to start looking for like images to help you out.
There's just like a bunch of these.
What did you look up to find?
Minecraft.
I kind of just typed in Earth-like planet landscape, but like you'll want to look like for planets like this, where it looks like you're looking at a planet from outer space.
I decided to create a completely new one because that was making me mad.
Or you could design it completely from scratch if you want to.
Wait. What did it say? What's the last part?
I used the word like landscape, or you can use like other words to help narrow down your search into like.
Landscape. Okay. I'm trying to find one of Star Wars Earth. I want to do something cool. Wait. Taco Donna. It's full of tacos. Maybe it's faded. This is my planet. It's called Pugdonia, USA. No, I don't want Star Wars. I just want images of them fighting. I just want them.
What the? Freddy's Super Smash. That's pretty different thing. There is I can't say. Can you come back?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's it, do you know, is it like a gas giant planet or like a rocky planet or?
Wait, when you feel like this word,
I can't get a picture of the Coruscant. What the heck?
I really luckily to be a document to about 500 times as fast as I really
Oh, it was
love
right
it.
there.
No matter what it is. It's also as
Santa baby, I want one more thing, a ring. I don't want a little thing. Are you interested down the chimney tonight? Oh yeah.
No.
And hurry down the chimney. How do you answer the photo?
How do you insert a photo?
Yes.
No.
Nose. I like noses.
because I copied it up, right?
You did copy an image. Do you know where it is?
Well, kind of.
So is there an insert tab anywhere, like under file?
I really want this Lego set. It just popped up. You've missed? Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you. You can't find it. I'm watching the report
Oh, that's cool. Alright, so I found it on here. So this guy, they say it was likely the failed core of a gas giant. So like it probably originally formed as a gas giant and wandered too far away from its star, and the star like blew the gas off of it, so it's just the core of the gas giant.
Oh, Mr. Dale. You think this is pretty cool?
You like that?
It would, so we should be working
Yeah, but
on,
this is just what came up for.
because we have at least 45 minutes to finish all that.
Do you think this would be a good planet? His nose hairs.
No. Like I said, like, alright, so you'll have to find the select. So, like, unfortunately, I'm not super familiar with how it works. But remember, when you look at like these are not good pictures. You want like a picture like you're in outer space looking directly
This
down.
one?
No.
Dale,
This
did you
one?
paste an image into this?
Wait.
There should be, but like I was saying, I'm not super familiar with this program. There should be a select tool.
Wait, this one?
No, so that's already around. Oh, yeah?
This one? This one? I need help.
Alright, so I heard try right clicking on the picture you pasted and doing select.
Wait, this one got too
Roll it, like you
Stop screaming! I wasn't screaming. No, I What is that?
That's not Ben and Miss K. That's called Spider-Man over.
There is a resize, but
What building was it?
percentage by percentage. Is that what it is?
I'm not gonna
Yeah, but
Oh, it's not good.
oh, there is a
What the fuck happened to Mario and Sonic?
like I don't know if that.
What is this?
I don't know.
Is that a seriously futuristic model? Hey, you should watch Futuristic Hub, kiddo.
Why?
Because it's good for your brain.
No, it's not.
Oh, this is freaking Russian.
Because anything
There.
white left.
I got mine to do it too.
White stripe.
So, if you also right click on the image and you go to.
I found out that it said that it actually might not be it can also possibly be rocky. Its temperature's around 1,000 degrees and it has very big rings. Plus it's like it reflects 1% of the light tossed.
Are you talking about like the super dark planet? Yeah.
I'm gonna use that one.
Okay.
People are going crazy. I don't know why people are going crazy over
Wait, so what do you do?
Yeah, I right clicked and went to layers and I went to scale layer.
I figured out how to do it.
I can't get my picture in.
Do you want to paste it in?
I already tried.
I'm gonna make a
Okay.
random.
Okay. I think I know how to do it.
I'm gonna say
So you
this
go to.
on my This is beautiful.
Hey, Henry.
It was on here.
If you're going to listen to music, please have your headphones plugged in. Also, we need to get these planets
It
done.
was around your phone. It's in one of those. It might yeah, paste. Or re-copied it in. What do you, is that like your final stage?
I pulled this from the internet, so like,
Me too.
what I would personally do is use this as like your backdrop and then like add things on top of it if you want to. So like,
Well, I mean, I know how to do it, but like, I don't know.
There we go.
and then like, so like if you want like an alien city, then you could use things like the paint feature and like use like grays and like yellows and stuff if you want to like
Yeah.
design like what a city might look like from outer space.
But I do some like,
So now how do you change it?
Yeah.
there's a.
Wait, no, I was gonna ask you if this would be a good one. It's a look at a planet that is from space.
Okay, that's a good start. But okay, the problem with that is it's already round. You'll want the picture you get to be rectangular.
So
What?
do that.
You want to cut it? Yeah. I forget, there's one of these.
Flat tell
It was one of these, but there's one of them. It looks like the crop.
Planet, landscape, instead of the word flat, right? Like the word landscape. Yeah.
That like, but that drags it out and brings it to the.
Well, I don't have to make one, but if you do want to make one, I'm gonna write on.
All the ones that
Yeah, you can like that. It pretty much works like Photoshop, so you can even get like two images and like merge them together. You want like half the planet to look like one, like rocky and like
That's
this
not
kind
what
of
Shaku.
Well, that's your crop. I don't really know how to use it that well, that's all. How do we erase? That's broken. I mean, that, there's no damage to it. It's like the radius strip, you know? So I extend the line, gotta make it, it's not pretty big there. So in theory, I'm done. Yeah, in theory, that's the.
What is this? Okay, so I changed my mind. I'm going to create an entirely new one again.
I recently started playing Starcraft Online. It's great. And like there's like 5 different storylines you can go into, like the one I'm playing is like pretty much like all of them. The one I'm doing is what happened to the main timeline after Spock went back in time and created all the problems. So it's like what happened to like the Roman Empire after Roman was destroyed. Yeah, so there's like a civil war going on right now. I'm helping to establish Roman Republic because that war was the existing Roman Empire and like
Holy crap. Wait, so which one, wait, would this be a good picture?
I will check that
This is a GIF.
second.
Dang it, how did you get that?
So it really has to do with like what you're searching. It's like I
found
typed in like words like landscape
I found a lot better under like.
or like maybe like map.
Map. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe like put like the word map. So like Earth, like planet, map. Or something.
I don't know what that line I just made, I don't know, like, can you erase it? So.
I think so. There should be an eraser.
I want to be tracer.
Because what it does when you draw something or another picture, it sets it as a different layer. So you even could probably just delete that layer that you.
Wait, how do I move my image?
Layer.
I want to move my image.
Delete layer.
Where do you want to move it to?
I want to move it to right flat. Well, actually, also crop it.
So try right clicking on it. Press select.
Wait, I actually did something.
You already made it a paper?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's a lot of what we're going to be doing next week. But we want to have like a planet in the background for you to be talking about,
I
right?
don't know.
No?
I don't like Starland.
Get this crap.
It is a free program, which, yeah.
Oh no, I messed up Peter.
Well, that just means everything on it is selected.
I want to.
I don't understand
Right.
what to put in.
So when you search for stuff, try first typing in Earth like planet like map. Or that map is a good word to have in your search to give you what you're kind of like looking for. Because that's going to give you more of like the flat pictures, like that would be like what you want to look like, but you don't want to look exactly like Earth, right?
Fine, this is gonna be my whole
So you can put
planet.
like
It's gonna be this.
Mustafar planet map. Right.
I've never played other games like that.
Okay. So what you could do is you could
Reddit.
open another GIMP one and find like if you like this part of the rock, you select that part of the rock, copy it, and when you go back into your GIMP program, you can just like keep pasting that and decide like the rock. There's one way to do it. How do you spell what? I don't. I will probably sound it out. Probably has the word taco in it.
I sounded up Taco Donna and it's giving me a Mexican restaurant.
This is
Oh wait, there's actually a
I
Star
really-
Fox thing that's going around Twitter. This is an actual that was going around
I
Twitter.
think this is the best.
I've got him. Star Fox? That's Star Fox.
Oh, the app I'm using is literally called Exoplanet. Like, if you go into like the for Apple products, like their store, just type in Exoplanet. Yeah, it has like a little picture of Jupiter.
This is why. Yes. Who even still wants to play Minecraft? Well,
Actually, a lot.
I still play Minecraft.
Yeah, no.
But
People at my school get made fun of for doing that.
All the time.
no one really
Natural
plays
all the
Minecraft unless it's
time.
this dude legit walked. Oh wow, that really broke the game. That's a that dude.
Why not have
Dude, broke this dude.
There. I can just.
That's that guy. What is it? Do the Fortnite island.
I was trying to do that. Like as soon as
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Actually. It's like, look,
Oh my gosh. I
people
can't
recognize
get back
it really
in.
easy though.
Yeah.
Like especially if I did like one of the more previous seasons, because they really stand out. Like if I did season 1 or 2, those are like
That is
boring,
amazing.
but
Whose is that?
Open. I'm just
open.
wondering if Planet just have Peter.
Just Peter just floating there.
Yes.
Because next week we're going to be working on biosphere planets.
I really don't like the
In a white void of just.
yeah. There's one
Oh yeah, we're gonna care for
Yeah,
Mars.
but not in the actual
Yeah,
game.
because I got like.
I kind of, what I want to do while you guys are working on that is I want to put this on the sphere so people can see what a terraformed Mars might
Let
look
me
like.
paint some.
I already know what terraform Mars look like.
Yeah.
Wait,
Since
let
I'm
me
obsessed
paint.
with planets,
You know?
I look up
Why
planets.
there
Why is it not letting me paint?
There are some weird planets out there,
I know,
Super.
like Ross, numbers.
These
right?
all-
Or even like Jupiter, we're pretty sure it rains diamonds on Jupiter. Because of what Jupiter's made out of, when you take that chemistry and introduce lightning to it, it tends to create diamonds.
Well, if it's raining diamonds, I would be the first person.
I think Nancy, I'm gonna go
Jupiter, then who did that?
And they think one of the layers on Jupiter is actually made out of liquid diamond. Yeah. Like on one layer, the lightning creates diamonds that rains down, and those diamonds that are raining eventually turns into liquid and forms like an ocean of diamond.
I wish we could like be on Jupiter, but
It's super dangerous,
and super cold.
right? It's super good at killing people.
And plus,
Why
when
isn't
you get there, you have to
any
pass like that,
working?
Right.
and then you have to pass like Jupiter's moons and
hmm
wait, what? No.
Well, there's like whole big radiation belts and stuff.
If you landed on Neptune, it will tear you apart the moment that you see.
And Neptune's pretty much like an ice giant, so it'd have the consistency of like a slushy. A really cold slushy. What a slushy.
I'm giving my planet a nice storyline.
Okay.
My story.
And we will have time next week to work on like the storyline of your planet, or like what your planet's name is, what features it has. We would make it like a travel guide to your planet. Like why aliens would want to visit your planet. Be like,
Welcome to my planet.
come
Now,
here to see the giant man-eating sloths or whatever.
Welcome to my planet. Now, I have one question for you. You could have had any other. Haven't you heard the story of what terrible things happen here?
Right?
Terrible, terrible things.
It's like, why did you come here in the first place?
I think
Too tiny.
bro.
Layer. Scale. Yes. Terraformed Mars. You could actually even copy it too, and that way, like when you go to GIMP and you just do edit paste,
Taco John's. Okay, which
you
one?
can actually just go.
Would this be a good one? Would this be a good one?
No, because again it's rounded. You want it to be a rectangle.
Okay, I don't know what to do.
You don't want to be like an actual picture.
Oh, it's gonna be serious.
So
Taco Donna. Is it Taco Donna the place where Monster Castle is? This is what comes up from map.
So yeah,
Oh,
you can
my
use
God.
like your editing and select tools. So like if you just want to use that texture for just like for example like the continents like that would look like or like land masses, you
This would be your last year puzzle.
Oh, I
okay. So are you gonna want to put things on top of it or just like okay, so we want to take up this go right
So yesterday I was at this group.
go to layer.
For the people meet. What?
There's layer and scale layer. They'll ask how big you want, because each time you like use something, it makes it a different layer on the.
This is the
So you have to
photo
know how
of
big to
We
make
can
the
say
layer.
more than just wait on. We
Two
said
thousand.
more than just pizza.
This is the photo
The
of
height is 2,000. And
We said more than just pizza. We said people. Wait, what?
I did the wall.
Oh my God. Think about it. Move.
Clever is our groundbreaking
So I think that would be cool. I found this is what an artist thinks that the terraform Mars could look like. That would be cool. Put that on this. With what the Mars mission is talking about and stuff.
Oh, I remember that. I actually. Okay,
In the coding folder on the D drive, I created another folder in there called Exoplanet. So let's erase it and start seeing.
Speeding car.
Oh.
No.
Pretty Miss Pig's Tropical Adventures. Man, I don't know what Pac-Man is, but I love this.
This is in June of last year. Sorry, snow. They should have added snow at season 6.
I really want one of those.
Well, they brought back the,
I wonder what soda can
whatever it
be.
is.
Like not real, like
The
physically.
Yuletide Ranger and,
Oh yeah, yeah. They brought that up just like today.
they brought it out
Probably
yesterday.
bring this to my church every.
Well, yeah.
Is that me?
Well,
Avengers.
I originally
This looks
had
like
to
it's
pick
made
that
in freaking
500
74.
pickaxe, but he ran skinny.
I think it's
Or it's probably been
Remember off the top of your head when they saved your picture, what it has to be saved as?
After years, you save the road after
Not
like
sad
the
because
$50
Stanley
Yeah, money has to
actually
be for
You can save the road, you just earn you like 10,000 bucks.
No, it's
And it's like a year. You get 2,000 bucks.
No, she just wearing.
I have it written down in
Yeah,
my
well, I've already asked her for it.
Did you
Yes,
see
for
the?
So that'll probably be important when they're ready.
He was a great dude.
You can, I've already, I think I did it for 40 days and I've already gotten 1,500 bucks. That's a pretty good deal.
Why did they do this?
I don't know. I just don't have enough like
Look at me.
It doesn't
You
bad.
want to love the new Spider-Man?
I want to say we're about as
You made me cry. For your children.
I bought.
Oh my God, she's playing GTA Roblox.
I got the
The what?
I got the gold fight when you're not listening at the you can have big guys. Guess what? You gotta bring back age as you gotta bring back everything that is already
Coachy,
So
Mom.
any part of me that was
Coachy,
OG
man.
It's Ash Ketchum.
Well, I kind of like they brought like me that trained in.
Yeah, that's stupid. I think I am happy. So like the people are like start playing season 6 are like, oh I'm OG. No.
And then have them say
It's okay if you guys aren't ready for this yet, but when you are ready to save your picture, it has to be saved as a .png file. Otherwise, the program for our sphere will not know how to display it. Now we do have a spot for you to save it too.
Oh wait, how do you know what this is?
Find out what color you want to use.
This is. You probably don't know what this means.
I believe so. Do you see like the little eyedrop
And there's
runner
actually
thing?
a Sonic.
Alright, so when you want to save it,
This is what it looks like. But it's basically like cartoons. Wow, it's the best Sonic
So we're just gonna put it under application.
Mine is just Peter Griffin and a white
Where? So public.
and then you can ask for like what you want it to say. So you might need to just save as again, and you'll title it like probably like your name or whatever you want your other name to be. And I'll just need it instead of .cf, it'll just be .png.
What the frick is that?
Okay. So where do I put
Alright, so it's kind of hard and tedious to get to. So we're gonna go public, education,
Stop it.
and then public programs, and then learn annual programs, and then coding club. exoplanets. And so yours is blah 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 PNG. Okay.
You just push PNG like that.
Wait.
You haven't found anything?
Wow,
I don't think it likes the underscore.
It won't let you save as PNG. It has to go to the gimmick TF format.
Oh really?
Yeah. And just save it as much as
Oh, you have to use file export to save it as another format.
Darn it. So how do you do that?
Alright, so just go OK and go to cancel down there. And go to file,
Oh, yeah.
export. And it's export.
I wanted that.
And it's pretty much like the same, but now you can do it as like a PNG.
Yep, that's cool.
But you're already.
And yeah, let's see if you remember where to go. Education,
I'm pretty sure it's
public programs, current annual coding. Excellent. Yep.
yeah, so as long as they're yeah. Oh, time. Come on, good.
Just say.
Oh, now I can view all your files and all your planets.
Who's the greatest? Oh, yeah, I know.
Daddy ready.
I can drag you
Oh,
in
this
if I
is
wanted
our
to.
plan. Video on.
Or a whole
Beamer
thing driving
making
the first
plans.
person.
What
I
the?
like it because
Super Mario.
Super Mariano. And it's
I
just
just need a bio.
email at the bottom.
Like, I need a
It doesn't stand for freaking phone. It doesn't. Monica.
Wait,
Yes,
what's that?
Monica.
Ultimate driving the first one. This is $79,000.
Yum, 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 yum.
So that one?
Wait, I wish I could photo
This is
Photoshop this to make
Oh, that's
her make her face look like freaking Pikachu. Photoshop.
I'm gonna buy her shit. I like Mercedes, Ferrari, that girl,
Wait, let
yeah.
me get Jaguar
Lotus.
Girl Necklace.
Yeah, Lotuses are pretty good actually. The Lotus is pretty
Did this come out before?
It's a lot cheaper.
I could have.
How do you erase things?
You gotta play it.
Oh my gosh, I
But Cadillac is way
Wait, it's basically from Spiked. Some person.
So you like erase like this whole thing?
Yeah, see, there's like,
Basically the one from
Oh,
Spiked.
that's not how it is.
So how do I find a car?
Go into the shop, push E.
It's basically this, just look at it. Finger and
Enter
wait,
garage.
it's a city.
The Ford Crown Victoria. So I'm currently Victoria. Those are like
Color red.
design.
You could. 'Cause I think it has to, when you're drawing, it's making it a different layers and the picture.
I like that.
There is.
Okay. So that's into it.
We had a couple get done, but let us know when you're ready to save it, and we will help you
How do you
save.
get more?
He's got it.
Change drive.
But we do have like 10-ish minutes. A little more than 10 minutes. 10-ish. 10-ish. 10-ish.
Okay, so S would be indefinite.
Vine sauce.
We have 10 minutes.
Wait, vine sauce.
B would
This
be
guy
red.
is cool.
Yeah, or that's like your.
Then L would be
Yeah, and then B is for good. C is your left foot. Your people will try to steal your car if you have a nice one.
This is
So
so
try to
weird.
steal
Vinny,
it.
I wonder if we might have to have a nice car.
Where's the most funny?
What gives you more?
What's this? Why do? I've been fined for speeding.
Already.
Oh wow.
Oh, I'll try to spell it.
Same, bro.
How much gas do I have?
Dale is gonna tell everybody
To do what?
I need to like.
Oh, I already told them by themselves how to do.
save as.
No, you gotta go to export. Go to file, export. Yep.
When I put it in map, I lost my because it also there was that I can just boom.
What?
Where's it looks like she's working good, but she's really. Boom! It's done! Boom!
Oh, wait, plus like.
How do I get in the car?
You just jump into it. Yeah, like, you can jump into it.
How do I back out? Well, this
Jump
week
out, or you can go to this.
So again, you don't want it to be round. You want it to be like on map.
what?
So like when you like look like map,
What's the speed
like,
limit?
I mean, it's very fun. The speed limit is like whatever.
That's where I got that.
oh, you want to make the entire thing
Around the same level.
scales. And then you just type in like how big 4,000 by
I'm just using the Crown Victoria right now because it's free. I did buy it.
No, I can't find it any that are not rounds. I don't want to start a race.
Okay, girl. No, it's not her stuff. She was young and free, so not
Once your turn six on, it was a regular map. Always use your turn signal.
Never use your Crown Victoria. You just turn on.
Because it's from a video game. The appropriate. And then the thing my mom wanted to piece that up.
Well, yeah, because it's illegal.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
What does Y do?
So you copy this image?
Oh, how did you get that?
You remember,
You can still vehicles if they like get out, but most of the people lock their cars, so I don't know if you do that.
Oh, wait.
I'm trying to.
Yes, I try to still, if you're in my game, I try to still.
Wait. Just do two.
What's your name?
High peaks on the church.
No! Why would I go change
Pioneer.
She's the best YouTuber ever!
Yeah, you're my
I'm
game.
not.
Yeah, you're my game.
I am not.
That's fine. First things first, don't say all the words on my head. You want to
Oh gosh.
I'm trying to find you. I'm going out like, what if
Yoshi was actually the parent all
I go out to West over and change.
38 degrees. Hold out. How do you get a house?
Oh
I'm
my.
trying to move. How do you know if you're out of gas? What the heck is a bird? Oh wait, there's police? How do you become police?
He just did that.
High stuff.
Oh, this is good. Oh my
If you do the same, you can meet.
Okay, I'll do that now.
Yeah.
Now we just need to make it.
I'll see you there.
What was that?
I don't think he is okay.
Scale.
I don't think any beer. Okay,
I think I'm just.
then we're here.
Can you please stop screaming?
Stop screaming like you're on.
He's being disturbing.
Stop screaming like you just took some acid.
Yeah, you're my game.
So
Yeah, no.
right now it's just having a problem is it
Wait,
doesn't
you're
like
not insane.
stretching out because it will get circled.
Is there there more than
I'm in
one?
Woodbury.
How do you use it now?
But then when you wrap it around, you are gonna end up like half of the sphere all like.
I'm in Woodbury.
How funny!
I can drive
What
over
do you? What would you?
How far is that?
I remember this one Zelda glitch where it's like,
I'm just gonna take a step again.
Yeah, I'll be in high car.
Okay. So we explained in the beginning, so 5.
I'm not.
No, that's not.
New.
I'm not out.
Remember, no, that's right.
Fine.
You're fun already.
And it's a square like that. And so you want.
It's $400 a
Okay.
mile.
So this is going to look kind
I'm just gonna be like right outside.
of
That's fine.
If I can.
I don't like
What?
reaction videos.
I'm trying to just find the interface.
Alright, so we're looking at pictures like this. So do any of these like flat pictures or rectangular pictures look?
What?
Why is
No, not.
I love
Like this one?
Wait. Something's not going
Alright, so here's what we'll need.
I don't think my car's
We
working.
need to go into the website.
this protein stockpile 3. I love this. I love all the
And we'll right click and
I think my
we'll
car
go
might be working.
Go out.
into game.
Many.
Hey, sometimes you can scan.
Paste.
That was the sound.
Oh, there we
Paste
go.
it kind of small, but that's okay. We'll go on the picture, right click, go to layer, go to scale layer. Tell it that we want it to be 4,000.
I'm just gonna pump
You,
this off.
I think what you apply to
No, that's like Roblox.
scale,
And then I put Roblox.
and
Still in.
Now we're doing Roblox.
is this what you want your final thing to be?
Yes.
Alright,
I am.
so we will save it.
I like it. How
5.
can I tell where you are?
I don't know. I'll just.
Yeah, I think what this picture's supposed to be is
Wait
like
a
a
second.
future.
Wait, what is the largest man on the outside?
I really want to.
Export.
Oh,
So what do you want this to be called?
This one, you.
D-O-N-E.
Sounds done.
So how do you get this?
Wait.
Okay,
Did you do
so
a car?
once I'm done, I'll show you how
I
it's.
see your car.
That looks great.
You were right there.
Oh, it was right there.
So 10 to 15 years.
It's yours, not just
So
now.
why did I make important
Yeah.
It steals it. Steals my.
Listen.
Where's it copper?
I'm not gonna listen to this.
We can tell where to export it
So,
to.
And James
And you're probably,
So
you're
if
probably
we're not going to live to 10 to 15 years, why do I make roads in the future 21 years old?
Only those people. They just start
James
managing.
on the gas after
Nothing too soon. No.
No, because we're saving it to something that all the years
I don't
on.
think it's too. Like, I never know, but like.
One just went right by me.
I don't know.
I'm good at that now.
Driving almost out of the.
And so these are the ones that we save.
Oh, this is my new name. Like, not like the. Or anything.
Like Europe.
And then by the time
This
it's
is
all the way across there. Once that is done, then you may play. Okay, so we have to go to.
Loading
I'm
simulator.
starting down colors right now. Right now.
It'd be 2003.
Now, what do you want your
Plants
plans?
account. Yeah, for nothing. Yeah, see.
Alright, what I also want everyone to do, write your name on your planet paper.
My name is Jane. No, I didn't do very much.
So you don't have to worry about like bringing it back next week. You can just leave it with us.
Okay.
Maybe write their planet name or what
Oh,
you
yeah.
saved it.
Wait, why did I put my number in school?
Roblox.
Why did I do that?
I did.
$10,000.
How do you
The name of my
know?
planet is
Yes. Yes.
get like the more money.
Their army feels older than Rose.
Dude.
I'm not getting any money.
So where can we save it to?
Okay, so you don't want to do save as, you want to go to file
I
export.
went in a circle. I went all that way and I
So we're gonna go to
This is beautiful.
application.
I don't understand why people pay money for
I'm
this.
actually unicorn 87.
So how do you become like a police or a firefighter?
And then once you're ready, just push the export button down at the bottom.
Yeah,
And then another screen will pop up that you just need to push export on again. And then once that loading bar is all full, it's all export. Yeah, you can exit out.
I have $11,000 in the home stores. I'm done here. I'm done. Hello, prisoners. Sleep.
You can just say this, smart changes. Yeah, you already exported, so it's.
Okay, it looks like you've got some parents
I'm
starting to
$69
screen
right
in,
now.
so.
By the way, whatever you want to name, just make sure you keep the dot E and G on. That's the important part. Oh, you didn't know. And then you just push enter, yeah. So push it, so you need help later. So let's just.
I'm not allowed to bring my iPad on. I play Roblox. But luckily,
When?
Public drive.
No, I'm not. Are you blue? There we go.
And then you push export. And then another screen will pop up, let's export again. And then once that loading bar is all the way loaded, it's just we get
Oxalotls are cute.
Slow down. Slow down.
I mean, they are.
It's kind of funny because these are real people, like real, like kids, like, yeah, but, like, it's just funny how, like, how smart these students are. Oh boy, just like copyright that you're trying to grow a lot of things.
Oxalotls are actually really cute. Life cycle of a salamander. Egg, larvas, pupa.
I'm almost at one.
I'm going to a Westover right now. Oh boy, oh geez.
I left.
I just,
Nobody's out here.
This is
Next
not right
week.
here.
Next week, we're going to be working on your travel guide for why people want to go to your planet, like information about your planet.
But they
And we're also going to give everyone a chance to play around with the sphere so you can control the sphere and everything.
Nobody's here to.
Let's just say my paper already includes all we just
I
said.
heard in the big book.
Well, then, well, if you don't have your
Hey,
picture
you're right
of your
behind
planet,
you.
on your house.
You're you're actually on.
Yeah, yeah.
All I need is a blank sheet of paper and a pencil. Boom.
You can have my.
Look, I'm standing on ice.
That's cool.
How is that possible?
How's that possible?
It's not even cracking.
Maybe she's a super light character, or the ice is super thick.
Not fast and famous. I'm gonna go to Royal Hyatt.
What the heck?
I'm gonna troll some kids at Royal High. I'm gonna bully some kids at Royal High. And by the way, I have several accounts
You're
on
going
Roblox.
fast. You're on the
And this is
one.
my
Music, huh?
This
I'll
is my
catch up with
third
you in
account.
line.
It's called
Wait,
Rich Joe.
Yeah.
you have more money.
Because I'm just dead.
I'm just letting you know.
I'm also gonna get a cat.
Yeah. How did I get dark? See if you can buy them probably. Not really, like, almost almost. The elephant, the water, that's like 150. You can look on video. Mine's like actually right.
I'm sorry if I didn't pay my taxes. Oh, we have wrench and
Guys, multiple choice exam one for each question. More than one of the multiple choice answers. And if you didn't choose one, if like there was like 3 out of 5,
You're not C-Day. Why are you putting
like if there was like 3 out of 5 answers that were correct, you would choose out of 5.
Neither one bad mom. Oh, here it is. This is next to interlude. I lost this. I had a beautiful woman.
Blame the inside kid, right?
I'm gonna make myself cry from mom.
What was I thinking?
That's what level?
Stop screaming like you're on
They made it
video.
like that.
Yeah, I actually heard that. Oh, hello. Inspirational quotes.
When life is done giving you lemons, they give you water.
I had
I learned
always graded on a curve.
Miss Nobody.
No one gets a perfect on my exam if they do not go back to make it harder for next class. So my final exam, I scored a perfect 100%. I had no idea why the rest of the class math. I left the class like dropped the
not gonna watch it.
Oh, you're not
You're
supposed
gonna
to.
change
You
it.
do it yourself.
See, listen how good. So this one you take the ice cream mixture before nitrogen on top of it, which makes it super
Wait, hold on.
creamy.
But
So the different dots are made by having a bath of the mixture on top of it. So when it hits it,
It's totally smart to put a tree and a bush in the middle of the road. It's totally smart. Good job, pal. Good job.
but the nitrogen freezes it.
Bye bye.
So fast.
Do you think this is cute?
My best score is 9.81%. Who wants to play jailbreak?
I know.
You're talking about like the actual outside game jailbreak, or like the computer
Oh,
game?
dude, I just
What's the outside version?
Okay, so the outside one's pretty. You have like 2 or 3 people who choose to be the police officers, and the rest of you are like inmates and stuff. And there's an area that they choose that represents the jail.
Yeah,
And they run around, and if they tag you, you go back into the jail, which you have to stay there unless one of your inmates runs into the jail, yells jailbreak. Whoever's inside the jail gets to escape and run around.
Can I
Give
start
me
my
my
recess?
I don't care.
Yay!
It's not my
I'm
recess.
probably gonna be in trouble. I don't
And
care.
the only way the police officers can win is they have to get everyone into the jail before like somebody comes and yells
We
jailbreak.
have 21 students, including all their third graders and
Then you might want to have more than 3 police officers. You might want to have like
27. Those police officers are like some kind of like stupid athletes. Then yeah, you need like a.
Okay. Rachel.
My ride's not here yet, right?
That is true. Your ride is not here yet.
So you can just play that jailbreak in the middle of it.
Holy, I'm stuck in the river. Good for you.
Hope you die there. Hope you die.
You're rude.
Wow.
What are you running, man?
Bullying people is fun, isn't right?
Yeah.
No, that is incorrect. They're just probably like,
And then you
Everyone has to be mean at some point in their life.
I'm not mean at all because I'm.
Boy, you literally do nothing but play one game every single day.
I can only play this game here because I don't have Roblox at home.
So then go get it at Roblox.
I can't. Why? Because I'm poor.
Like,
Wait, what?
I'm poor.
how do you learn
How
those
do you
headphones?
check
And how did your
it?
parents pay for your glasses?
Freaking out.
No, I'm poor. As in I
Then
have.
do some chores!
I have 26 cents.
Do some chores! I'm not
What's
doing
chores?
Hey, when I was a kid, I never got an allowance.
Want to sleep?
Or got paid for doing the chores.
I still
I didn't really like it either.
I don't have
I mean,
I was just expected to do the chores. I didn't get paid for doing them.
I had
That was
$25.
my philosophy.
You get $5?
No, I have over $25.
Can I have 30?
No, it's my money. If you want money, then go.
I
work
think
at
it's my
McDonald's.
money now. I think it's my money.
Go to it.
And mow people's lawns.
What's a lawn?
You could shovel.
What's a
Yard.
shovel?
Go work at
Oh,
Walmart.
yeah, it is. It's gonna be the
What's
shoveling
Walmart?
season here.
Grab a shovel and go to the yard.
People pay for
What's
you to do that.
outside?
Especially on a
This
Sunday
kid is
morning
being
when
so
everyone
social.
has to be at 11
What's the sun? What is life? Not you. The one is dead.
Okay.
You.
Okay.
Incorrect answer.
Earn money. You can go work at Walmart
What's
or.
Walmart?
Oh my gosh!
You sign
I
up?
don't think he's old enough for a work permit.
I'm not.
Too bad. Anyone can get a job. It's a free country.
You can get a
So they design
So why isn't
federal
everything
plans
free?
that we're going to display
Not if you're a
here.
kid upstairs.
So if you're thinking about tomorrow, we might be
You are
asking
kidding now.
you
You're
to do
screaming
to
out
see
my
like
face. Well, two with my own money.
You can be a kid if you want to.
Well, we are a kid.
No,
Dude,
that's
this is Spider-Man's kid. Technically, Splatoon kids are technically teenagers because they're really.
Splatoon.
Yes.
I have the first one and this one.
Wait, you have Nintendo Switch?
I
What's a Nintendo
no,
Switch?
I have every Nintendo system that has ever been created.
GameCube. Original.
Yes. Yes.
I wish my Wii
Have
was still here.
NES to have a.
Famicom, when I was 7,
Yes.
I was
Don't
going,
play it very
since I didn't have a Nintendo Switch, or I couldn't Nintendo Switch maybe.
What's
Hey,
the
I was about to. I was playing my Wii, and then it powered off. I tried to power it on, but it wouldn't. Then I had to bury it.
You know the processor for the Wii is essentially 2 GameCubes put together. That's all it is. No like new programming or anything. It's just legitly the processor of 2 Nintendo GameCubes put together.
The Nintendo Switch is basically the Wii and the Wii U, and they had a baby. The end.
But it's much better than the Wii U. But the Wii U wasn't the greatest.
Be brave.
I even have a Game Boy Advance Micro. That
Micro?
That wide. Yeah. It only sold for 2 years. It only sold 2 million copies worldwide. So
2 out of 9.
I spent $100 on it. If I were to sell it, I could easily sell it for $4.
Or you could say, do it for 800. If
no
you
one
my
pays
brother's not
for
here.
800. Let's go. Come on.
If you have a Nintendo Switch, then do you play Crash Bandicoot?
Yes.
Wait, can you get the newest Super Smash Bros?
I'm gonna get for Christmas.
My brother got it on the day it came out.
When I get home, I'm gonna have a giant party.
When I get home, I'm gonna play Roblox. For it.
I also have the new Pokemon game on it.
Dang it, I have $13,000.
Pikachu game.
I know. I am a gamer. I have lots of video games.
I think your bride is here.
Ice cream.
What? Ice cream?
Maybe different.
That's fine. It is.
I have a lot of stuff to carry. This is like every day I come home from school.
We can save it for him. He doesn't have to, because we would want him to bring it back next week. So, yeah. Okay. As long as your name's on it, sir. Thank you.
It's in the inside.
You got us all to yourself. What the heck happened to the...
To the what? She was like playing games the entire time.
the start?
Oh yeah, she changed it into a broom. I mean, it still functions as the start.
Will it reset?
I don't know. Do you know how to change it back?
What?
She changed the start menu button into a picture of a broom. And I'm not sure how she did it.
I wonder if it resets
I mean, I know how to change like the pointer to like anything, but now the start button, I'm not really sure about that.
If they could just funnel that genius.
Right? But she really wasn't wanting to do anything. Like, lots of them were like, yeah, planet's awesome. And she's like, no, I want to do things. Because I think, yeah, planet's awesome. Get to make my own planet. That's cool.
I've already mentally done it.